All right. Well, welcome everyone. Can you see my screen? Thumbs up. Yep. All right. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you're here. Today's presentation is a short thing about team management, team relationships. And I particularly like this as it relates to the civilian sector. So one of the things that I think veterans and military people are very good at is team dynamics and team leadership, because that's fundamentally one of the driving forces of morale and workplace engagement in the military. So that's wonderful. But there's different frameworks that get used in the civilian sector than maybe necessarily in the military. And I want to share one of them that I particularly like with you guys tonight. And I think you'll like this as well, because it focuses in on how do we organize a team for self-direction and engage that intrinsic motivation and get them to do what they're naturally talented at. So what I'm about to share with you is applies best to knowledge worker, people who work with concepts and abstract tasks, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it wouldn't apply in any team. It just might take some modification. But this is based off of a book that I read some time ago by Faith Ralston, who, if I remember correctly, is a local author. And she wrote this book, Team Management and Organization, or Play Your Best Hand, about team management and organization. And the reason why I like it so much is, and you'll see this in a few quick slides, this is going to be a very quick presentation because I'm hoping to spark some conversation. Because I think once we reveal the key element of this, I found it mind-blowing at first. Is you take all these talents, and everybody knows their talents, and then somehow miraculously you just know how to organize according to your talents. And I never found that to be an effective way of leading teams. But what Faith Ralston talks about is organizing the talents in the sequence of the work to be done. And that was a game changer for me. And so I really liked that. And I want to share that with you all today. So I'm sure you guys have seen all sorts of talent types. And in her book, she talks about people have a primary and a secondary, right? So there's ideas people, and those are diamonds in the deck of cards. Relationship people, those are the hearts in the deck of cards. And then clubs are structure people, people who, will develop the process or develop the documentation or, set the policy, they'll blueprint the ideas from the diamond. And then spades are implementation people, people who enjoy implementing efficiently. And as you look at this, right, she's got a test in the book, but it's not hard to kind of really understand when you see this kind of where your talents and passions lie. For me, I'd have to say I'm a diamond club person, right? I enjoy innovative ideas, but I also enjoy working out the structure of how that's going to actually be implemented. So, of course, other people enjoy implementing stuff. Not that I don't, but it's just I tend to gravitate more towards diamonds and clubs. So when we look at this diagram, it isn't so much about having the talents as it is having the talents organized around a project from start on the left to finish on the right. So as you think about this, right, you might wind up with starting something with a diamond, but if you try to put the diamonds in over on the finish side, they're going to wind up nixing your finish oftentimes, because they're going to come up with 7 more ideas before you get to the finish line. And then that just sends you all the way back to the start. Not that they're bad ideas, but it's just they're not sequenced properly. They're not considering the structure of how that idea is actually going to be implemented. And the relationship folks, no slight meant to them, when teams might go through rough spots, or maybe even help preventing them to get through rough spots, you'll find a relationship person who's very good about keeping that team on track and on focus and not letting emotional dramas get in the way. So, everybody has a role and a talent to contribute. But it's just a matter of sequencing them in the right order so that things can move efficiently through from start to finish. So let me, oops, let me see if I can get to the next one here. I'm losing my mouse when it comes out here. Sorry. There we go. There. The benefits are it's easy to optimize around the work. It's easy to recognize people's talents, yourself and others. And it aids teams to self-organize around the talents that people enjoy using. So, you know, like I put in there, you know, who doesn't like crossing things off their list? Well, diamonds, for example, don't like crossing things off their list, right? They don't get any jazz or juice out of completing stuff so much as inventing stuff, right? Ideating stuff. So that's really the difference between that. And that's the crux of what I wanted to present. So from this point, it's all about questions and thoughts and perspectives. So I'm going to stop the recording so that we don't overrun the video.